Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. On July 4th, 1962, I found myself in the lost and found of mankind. Just because something finds its way to the lost and found doesn't mean that it wants to be there. Just because something finds its way to the lost and found doesn't mean that the person who lost it doesn't care for that lost item.
You are writing moments that people will learn from, grow from, and heal through for thousands of years. Together, we are co-authoring a unique moment in time. That DNA, those fingerprints, they're going to be gone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But it is your story that they will tell for thousands of years. But only if you leave it. Things that do not serve you must go. The longer you wait, the more time you give them to trick you into serving them. 22 homes in foster care, everything I wore as a scar, as a shame, things that started like Velcro on my spirit. After just a few months, then years, then decades, I had believed myself into believing that they were indelible tattoos. Sometimes we have to be broken down to appreciate the view once we start getting up. I want you to leave this place and know that you have been changed. Why? How do I know it's true? Because each of you has just changed me.
empty. What's yours for the taking tonight?
I'm on a roll. Ringing the bell of purpose. I'm happy today. I am. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. How about you? How you feeling today? Put it in the comments. You know what? It's a glorious day. It is. The sun is out. We are up and we are here together. And I mean it when I say that this is my favorite time of the day because look what we're doing here. We are together fulfilling one of the greatest promises available to us, that where two or more of us comes together and we're in agreement that we are here to serve. We are here to ease suffering in the world in any way we can, and we do it together. It is the power of we, not the power of me. Can I get an amen? Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm Dr. Lauren. So happy to be here with you. Glad to be back in here. This time yesterday, I was in a restaurant in St. Joseph, Michigan. Had a great boy. Yesterday was really interesting because, I should have put that picture in. I'm going to find it. I went to Michigan yesterday morning, and I'm going to try to find this picture real quick. Drove to Michigan. It's about 2.5 hours from where I live to go and be together with, okay, wait a minute. Where are my photos? To be together with my foster brothers, Jeff and Brett, and my foster dad, Gene. And hold on, because I'm gonna bring this in. Anyway, hold on. As soon as I send this, I promise I can't do more than one thing. Well, I can, but not when it involves typing with one finger. There, I sent that over. So anyway, I went and we hadn't been together, all four of us in one spot for 40 years. For 40 years, you guys. And so yesterday morning was the first half of the day was really special to me because we did that. And then last night, I drove back yesterday. And then last night, I had, okay, wait a minute. Okay, because I want you guys to see. I'm so excited about this. Hold on. Okay, so now I can show you. So hold on. So I'll show you both pictures at once. Right here. Okay. So the first half of it was a family kind of day. So you guys know I have two families. What? Wait a minute. I got to get rid of something. It says I have too much stuff. Get rid of you. And now I'm going to bring this one in. Yeah, I have two families. I have my adoptive family and I have my biological family, but then I also have the people from the other 22 or other 20 families. So yesterday, my final foster family, when I went into the world, were the McGowans. They got me when I was 16 years old, and I left their house at 19 after coming back off the road with Up With People. It was a group way back in the day, and I'd gone on the road with Up With People. And when I left their house to go out to Hollywood to make my mark, which I did, they stood in the driveway. I'll never forget. And they said, listen, if you go out there and you don't find what you're looking for, no matter where you look in this world, you always have a home here. And these guys have been my brothers all these years. My foster mother, Pat, we're out at the cemetery visiting her. She passed away about 10 years ago. And there's Pops in the middle and brother Jeff right next to me and brother Brett on the far end. So I had that. And then full circle last night, three of my many favorite nieces, a lot of girls in my adopted family, were here from Los Angeles. So we were here. There they are. And Brian, my husband, and I, they were over last night. We had a great time. All of them are in medicine. Selma to the left of Brian is she's a doctor of acupuncture. And then the little short one in the front is a nutritionist. That is Cynthia. And then Charmaine is a registered nurse. And yeah. And then, Brian's a therapist. So I guess I'm the only one not in the allied health field. But we had a great time last night. Isn't family wonderful? I tell you what, I'm so grateful that I learned years ago that, relatives are blood, but family is love. And so you can have family everywhere, all the time. Can I get an amen, right? So welcome today. No other announcements. I just wanted to share that with you because it was just, when you see people after, 40 years, 40 years, you know how long that is, right? Then a few weeks ago when I was in Kansas City, connected with one of my brothers from the adopted family. It had been 50 years since we had seen each other, right? So anyway, if there's someone in your life that you need to connect with, reconnect with, do it. You'll be glad you did. I promise you that. That's the bell of purpose. I ring it on purpose, with purpose, because I know we're busy and I don't want you to miss some truth. And just like that bell, the truth has a ring to it. So when I ring that, that's what it's for. And finally, before I bring Miss Goldie Matthew, our guest today, in, say hello to my sidekick, my version of Ed McMahon. Been here all 7 years, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Love me some Lucy. Yes, what? Oh, and she's back here. See her? There's my collectible doll. So anyway, Goldie Matthew, not to be confused with Goldie Hawn. First of all, I want to ask her, how many times have people made Goldie Hawn references? And how many times have people mispronounced your last name by putting an S on it? I bet a boatload, right? Right? She has the opposite problem with me. They put an S on Matthews and they leave the S off of Michael's. So anyway, who is this woman known as Goldie? She is a lot of things, y'all. And I think she's still finding her way on what to call herself. She says she just likes to refer to herself as a serial entrepreneur. She believes in having multiple streams of income. And she's got more than streams. She's got rivers. You hear me? Of income. She's going to talk about that with us today. She has a thing called Tastefully Simple. Wait a minute. Is that the stuff where the recipes only have 2 ingredients? Oh, I just bought some of that at the some like not fleet thing. What's it called? Those markets you go to outside. What are those called? Senior moment. Well, yeah, Brian drags me to those things. Yeah, we got some stuff. Some muffins I'm going to make and something else. Oh, you reminded me. I'm going to do that this weekend. Yeah, so she does that. Melaleuca, you heard of Melaleuca? Those are great products. I remember them. Those have been around for years, decades. She also holds this thing called Motivational Movie Nights once a month, where she has these great evenings with dinner, documentaries, discussions, networking, you name it. She's also in real estate. She flips buildings and she owns an apartment building here in the Chicago area. She fancies herself, get this, a paparazzi style photographer. And I've seen her in action just a couple weekends ago. She likes to catch the energy and the life of people at an event. And she's really great at that. And she's also a speaker. She says that her most requested keynote is how to become a master manifester and intentionally create the life of your dreams. She teaches organizations and businesses step by step on how to do just that. That's it. So, boy, I need a nap after all that. I'm not kidding. Listen, first timer. So she's probably first time ever, I think, doing an interview. So let's be on our P's and Q's. Let's bring her in with love, 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 and more love. Do that by putting some hearts on the screen, won't you? As she comes to the stage, please welcome Goldie Matthew. Heidi ho. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you? I was taking notes on so many things that you were just now going over. Love that picture of your family. And you're right. I get people call me Goldie Matthews. They'll do one T and put an S on it. And I say Matthew, like Mark, Luke, and John, like a man's name. Goldie Matthew, to help them remember. And you're right about the Michaels, because Lauren Michael Harris, I have to throw the S on that too. So people have to pay attention.
It happens. But I'm glad you're here. And boy, for those of us who are nosy, we're looking around all behind you. You got a whole bunch of stuff. You got a lot of books.
I love art.
I love that picture on the wall back there too. Yeah.
Art all over my house. My 2 passions are art and reading. I love books. I didn't realize I don't have a fake background. This is actually my office. Yeah, I'm a voracious reader. I have literally, at last count, over 2,000 books in my home. People say, do you read all those? And probably 1 out of every 20. I buy more than I ever have time to read. But
don't we all?
I love books.
I do too. Do you Audible?
I don't do Audible. I like the physical, tactile turning of the pages. Readers are leaders, and what you put into your brain is what you become. So my books are usually motivational, self-help, personal development, inspirational, rags to riches, autobiographies. Now I'm doing more of books on another level of, what's on the other side, and
Oh,
what our
awakening.
future's about, and more woo-woo spiritual, manifesting. And that's how I ended up getting into more of that speaking, because I've had a pretty cool life. And when I look back, I've really been able to manifest it all. And I figured out what I do to make things just flow my way. And so I teach that to other people. And that's kind of fun too. So life is good, I have to say.
It is.
What are
It
you
is.
eating?
Huh? What am I eating?
What are you eating?
I eat every day on
That's
here.
fine. I was just curious.
Well, because it's, I should have my bathrobe on, but I have hoodies because it's fall now. We had a frost advisory last night, by the way. Brought in all the house plants off the deck last night because they were,
Oh,
oh, please, I'm dying out here. So I brought them
yeah.
all in. And I'm having my favorite cereal ever. Always. Same thing for 60 years. Cheerios with the one banana. No sugar.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh, I haven't had Cheerios in ages. I
Mm.
love Cheerios.
My favorite cereal of all time. And clearly I like to play. I love play. I have video games down here, and not the kind that kids use today. I'm talking about old ones like Galaga and Miss Pac-Man and stuff like that, and real pinball. So yeah, I like to play. And my favorite books that I read that are on my nightstand right now are 3 Archie comic books. I have 3
Oh,
I have 3 Archie comic books and a book written by my 14-year-old coaching client, Masters of the Journey, that Sebastian Reina. Hey, see you today, Sebastian, for your session. Yeah, so I like to do a little thing, Goldie, so you can kind of create a vibe with the viewer. So I'm going to dip out, let you have just a moment, take a minute, and just, talk to them personally. Then I'll pop back in and we'll start with your origin story, all the way back to in the beginning or once upon a time, whichever you prefer. Origin story, how you grew up, where you grew up, and when you first started seeing little inklings of this master manifester and solopreneur that we see before us today. So
right.
take a moment, say hello to everybody, and I'll come back in. All you, take it away.
Okay. Good morning. Hello, everyone. I didn't know if I needed to have a bathrobe this morning. This is my first time doing it. So, hello, everyone. Starting off, I have a real small family compared to Lauren's. He has multiple families, and I really love that quote that relatives are blood, but family is love. That's a tweetable right there. I do something called Goldie's Daily Motivational Quotes. In fact, if you go to www.goldiesdailymotivationalquotes.com and put in your first name, last name, and email address every morning, I bless my friends. There's no catch, just 6 a.m. You get a motivational quote. I've been doing it for a couple of years. Oh, yeah, he even has it there. If you go to GOLDIEMATTHEW.com, you can see it there, or just go to it directly. And so every morning you get something to start your day off motivationally. So, hey, are you back that quick? Oh, are you muted? Oh, he's
I
muted.
am. It put me back in because I shared your website because I had it pulled up. But I
Oh,
figured since I have it, I really dig the way you have this laid out. This is your website, which most people have a website for one thing, maybe some tabs for some other things, but you just have your entire life
yeah,
up here. The movie nights. Tell us about, well, let's go through them. Talk about how this got started, this
you know,
movie night thing.
I will tell you how that got started. I was watching a podcast, listening to a podcast, and they were saying anyone can be a millionaire. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening. He said, I'm going to ask you one question, and I'm going to ask you too, Lauren. And he said, I don't want you to give it any thought. It's just the first thing that comes to your mind. I want you to share it. You ready? So he said, what is it that you can do to the wee hours of the morning and just never get tired and you can't get enough of it? Go.
Playing
What is
words with friends or Scrabble.
playing words with friends with Scrabble. Well, you know what my answer was? Read.
Oh
I
Lord,
love
that'll
to
put me right
read.
out.
Oh, and yeah, if it gets too late, I start getting sleepy. But I thought, well, great. How does that make you a millionaire? But you just keep asking yourself questions. So I thought, well, what do I like to read? I like to read motivational things. And I thought, well, that's not going to make me any money from what I read. And I thought I also like, documentaries. And after I watch a good one, I'll look to the left and look to the. It was like, gosh, that was so good, and I didn't get to share that with anyone. And I thought, well, wonder if I could do like a documentary club or a movie club or a movie night or a motivational movie night. And literally that's how it got started. And so I thought, yeah, but would anybody come? And so, because I hold these in my home, so it's private invitation. And so I tested it out. The first movie I did was The Secret. Remember The Secret? Because I've
Oh
been doing
yeah,
this for almost 10 years now.
I know a few people from that movie.
Oh, do
Well,
you?
most of us do that are in this work. Karen
Yeah.
Lecter and
Yes.
Lisa Nichols and
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
oh yeah, Lisa's a
Yeah.
sweetheart.
So I invited a few friends over to just test it out, and then, I decided, "Okay, I'm gonna make this a little business." I don't charge much, but I made a list of a few people. I put together what my next movie was gonna be, and, it sat in my computer for, like, 3 days. I was, like, so nervous to hit send and make it official because I didn't know would people really come, and so I thought, "Stop it, Goldie. This is it would." Do you know what I mean by God whispers? You get a
Mhm.
God whisper that just won't leave you. Well, I kept feeling that this was something I needed to launch. And so I finally hovered over my computer and hit send, and it went out. I'm like, "Okay, is anybody gonna respond?" Because I sent it out to, like, 300 people.
Oh
And
wow.
then,
What if
uh
they all would have said, "I'm coming"?
that would have been something, but within a minute, God bless her, Marianne Felice, she's in her 80s, said, "Oh, this sounds like fun. I think I'll come." And then a couple other people is like, "Oh, this is actually working." So I get about 20 people in my home, but I've been doing it for 9, going on 10 years now, and it's really a lot of fun. People look forward to the ambiance and uh, networking, and I put a business table for people to put their business cards and
Hmm.
flyers from any upcoming events, and the food is Tastefully Simple food because I'm a Tastefully Simple consultant. So we'll have the beer bread and pesto salmon and Thai lettuce wraps. I do a crazy amount of food, and it's really a lot of fun. I have this community of women who look forward to it, and I do really positive, uplifting movies. I did Sydney at Christmas time, and we did it in our pajamas. You would have
Oh,
fit right
nice.
in with your bathrobes.
Yes.
And so those were a lot of fun, motivational movie nights.
So let me ask you. So okay, you said you have a small family.
Oh, we're talking super small.
My husband does
Um,
too.
I'm gonna add your quote to my daily motivational quotes because I really liked that resonated with me. I'm mixed. My mother was black, my father was white. So that's where I get my curly hair, and I get my blue eyes from my dad, and
Yeah.
my booty from my mom, which my boyfriend is pretty happy about. But anyway.
Mhm. Bootylicious.
So I just have one sister. So my mother was from Fairfield, Alabama. Didn't have any brothers or sisters. My father was from Sacramento, California, and just had one sister who never married. So
Mm,
I've never had any uncles. We're talking blood here. I'm like you. I have lots of family that's
through love.
relationship family.
Yeah.
And my sister didn't have any kids. My parents are now both passed. My aunt had one son, and he lives in Australia. So you ready for this? My sister in California, me here in Chicago, and my cousin in Australia. That's my whole blood family. I don't
Wow.
Now when I say small, I mean small, but I have so many, family of love of my friends that, oh my gosh, I'm so blessed with. In fact, coming up, because I didn't my parents were passed, I would have so many houses to go to for Thanksgiving because they
I was
treated
just
me
gonna
like
ask you
family.
that. I bet you get a
Yeah.
lot of invites.
Yeah, so I would go to different homes, so many hours of one and so many other, because they really felt like family to me. Artie Sayers, Gail Sayers. I'm not name dropping. She's just one person I would go. You
Yeah.
remember Gail Sayers, the football
Of
player?
course.
Yeah, his wife.
Ryan's song.
Yes. Oh, yes. Artie and I went to Africa. I used to date their son. That's how I met them. And Artie and I are good friends, and she's like a second mom to me. So that was always definite where I would go for Thanksgiving. And she's a real sweetie pie. She's in Indiana right now. Gail's now passed, but we still get together. I absolutely love her, but she would do all the cooking, and the house would just be filled with love. So yeah, we
Absolutely.
would go to different people's homes for
Do you
I
ever
would
host? Do you ever host the holidays?
now, okay, this is gonna be a fun fact. I don't cook. So no, I don't ever host. I bring food, I bring things to people's houses. The only time I cook is movie night and cook everybody. Other than that, we pick up food an awful lot. I have lunches with people, saying, "Hey, we needed to get together for lunch." That's what I do just about every
Right.
day.
And that it just kills me. It's so let's talk about that because a couple people in the last month or so have said, "Oh, do you want to meet for lunch?" And I'm like, literally, who
Yeah,
does that anymore? I mean, I know
every day.
we go out, my husband and I go out for lunch on the weekends together.
Mhm.
But people during the work week, I didn't know people could still do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving here as soon as we're off to networking luncheon. But just about every day, I have one or two meetings with people over food, over lunch. So I'm in all the restaurants all week long. I eat out all the time. So that's always my first thought when I get together with somebody saying, "Well, what's your calendar look like? Let's do lunch." Because then you really have enough time to get to know each other. But we did it through Zoom, so that works as well too. When
Yeah,
for
but
people are too
that's
busy to
a
get
great
out.
thing. I don't it's almost like letter writing. You don't want it to become a lost art, if you know what I mean. You
Yes.
know, getting together, especially after COVID. I think, I still know people who have not come back from COVID. You know what I'm saying? They don't go
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
They're very stay very much to themselves. We have a neighbor like that, and we ran into her at the movie theater uh
What?
Saturday night, and we were like, "Oh my God, Ilya, did the aliens finally bring you back? Where have you been, girl?" Right? And she goes, "Since COVID, I just, you know, and it's just have with all of your networking and stuff, have you noticed much of that
Well,
post-COVID that is it different in your world?
I will say I think it's all back in my world, but because I was hosting motivational movie nights and Tastefully Simple was something that were in-home taste testing parties, everything in my world when COVID hit shut down. All of my parties that I had lined up, and I had been praying, God, is this something I want to keep doing? I've been doing it for over 20 years. And I thought, is this, do I want to still be doing taste testing parties when I'm 80 years old? Well, COVID hit, and I had 9 parties on the books, and they all shut down. Movie nights, no, we're on lockdown. Nobody's going to come to my house and get together. And so I thought, well, I guess that's my answer with Taste Be Simple. But you want to know something? People were home cooking more. My
Yeah.
sales online quadrupled without me ever leaving my house. How cool is that? And then Melaleuca, if for those of you who don't know, is an online shopping club, kind of like a Sam's Club or a Costco. They just don't have any toxic ingredients in them. They make cleaning supplies. Well, when COVID hit, uh, people couldn't get their cleaning supplies anymore. Remember, the shelves were empty. So about 100 new
Yeah.
people found their way into my already good sized organization through people who were already shoppers, because all of us were shoppers. We could just order it. The company just makes it and ships to our door. And movie night, I was dark for about 6 months. My man, he and I are total opposites about everything. So my guy and I have been together for 22 years. We're stupid happy, but we're not married. He's a really good guy. His name is John.
22 years?
22 years. I've never been married. I don't have any
Wow.
kids. But I'm just real stupid happy. Life is I got, we're like house slippers. It's just really
It's
cozy and
so
real comfortable. We've worked out all the kinks over the years, and now life is just really good. It just gets better and better.
I'm gonna ask what everybody's wondering. I know you because she's like, "I'm half black, half white." So which is your
Oh,
husband
what
or
color is
boyfriend?
my man? Well, his name is John Granvold. very German.
I
So
was gonna say,
he looks like
definitely.
your
Well,
man.
maybe not, because I know some black people with those kind of names.
Oh,
Like,
that's
okay,
true.
so
That's
he's
true. He's a
German,
white boy with blue eyes.
and you look like you could be German.
I probably could. People do not know my heritage. They
Never,
look at me
never
because
would have guessed it.
my sister is light skinned too. We're both very, very fair. And my mom, to give you a color reference, I always say she's Halle Berry black.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
to give you
we
a
call
color.
that. Yeah, that's not even milk chocolate. That's like caramel,
Okay, yeah,
caramel.
smooth caramel. Maybe a
Yes.
little darker than caramel. She's actually kind of your color, maybe just a tad lighter.
Oh,
And
I
that's
think so.
because, let's see if you can follow along with me. Her mother was mixed. Her father was dark, very, very, very blue black, dark. Her
Okay.
mother looked like an Indian woman, like she could braid her hair and look, she was very fair skinned because her mother was black and her father was white. Down south, could never marry back in the day. So my this is how I kind of say it. On my father's side, they're all blonde, blue-eyed, white, white, white. So my father, I like to say I'm like 4 parts white because of my dad having 2 white parents, and because my mother's father was black but mother was mixed, I'm like 3 parts black, 5 parts white. Does that
Yeah.
did I throw you or did you get that?
You didn't even get it because everything you said had a question mark after. So you're like, wait a minute,
I
is
had
it
to
this?
think it through,
So
but
let's just say it's a great blend.
it's a beautiful blend.
Yes. Yes.
And I remember one time, this was a pivotal story in my life. A really, really good friend, black woman, Mildred in Chicago. She was like a second mom to me. And I was back in when I was like 20 years old, I was dating a Jewish guy in Chicago. And we were together about 9 months, and it was getting toward the holidays, and his mother was going to be having a big party in Skokie, and I was living in a little apartment with my mom in Bolingbrook, and he was in the Gold Coast area. And it was getting close to the holidays, and I said, "Hey," he thought, "Well, it'd be a good idea that our parents finally met, that my mom, would meet their family." And he was kind of hesitating. And I said, "Hey, are we going to make this happen?" And then he finally had to let me know that this is crazy, that his mother didn't want to have my mom come by because she didn't want her guests to see that her son was dating a girl with a black mom. Can you believe this? This is this is in the 80s though.
Yeah, I can believe it.
And I was so like how I I just see everybody for their love and their energy. I don't see color. But I remember going, just first it was like incredible, and then I started getting angry, and then I got hurt, and I stopped by my friend Mildred's house, and I'm crying, and she, I'll never forget this, Lord. She takes me by both hands. Pardon me for getting emotional. She sits me down by the edge of her bed. I'll never forget this. And she said, "Goldie, Goldie, Goldie, don't you know you're a gift from God, that you have the best of both worlds?" She said, let anyone make don't anyone make you feel bad, if they're being prejudiced. Just feel sorry for them that they don't know better."
That they don't know better.
And I thought, you are absolutely right. Have compassion for them, that they don't know better. There's nothing wrong with my mother. There's nothing wrong with me. She just has her thinking skewed. And that just changed everything. And Lauren, I have used that in so many areas of my life,
Yeah.
like even in sales. Like if I'm talking to somebody about maybe Melaleuca or Taste Simple or whatever, and they don't see it, I'm like, well, just feel sorry for them that they don't get it, because I've had such a wonderful life and they could too, but it's just not for them. They don't get it. Don't feel ever hurt. Some people are not good in sales because they can't take the no's. I'm like, I don't feel bad. I just understand that they just don't know better. They don't see or know what I know. That little thing that happened when I was 20 years old has carried me in
Of
so
course.
many different areas. So it was a really good lesson.
So
Pardon me.
let me ask you about this thing. I have a blended family, and it's interesting because both my adopted and my biological
Blood
family
family.
are blended,
Mhm.
and so, and yeah, I love everybody, but I
Yeah.
do sometimes, talk to nieces and nephews who are um, half black, half white about some of the particular struggles that they experience. And they're always telling me that, Uncle Lauren, every now and then, like primarily like when they have to fill out something. And that's
Yes.
the only time they say it reminds them that they are blended. Most of the time, it's not even a thing. Is that your experience, Goldie? That
It's
it's really
funny
like
you
when
should
you have
say
to
that. Next month I turn 63.
happy birthday. You look great.
Thank you. I got good genes.
God, you're older than me.
I got good genes. As you
You
know, black
do.
don't crack.
Got
Anyway,
that right.
there's something to that. And Asians, I think, age very well too.
Yes.
Hang on, let me get a swig. But the reason why I said that is because when I was younger, there wasn't as much blending, right? And so forms would only say black, white, Hispanic, other.
Other.
And I always had to check other. And I remember my mother said, because I said, well, I remember this funny story. I said, Mom, do you remember having to sit, 'cause she's from the South, at the back of the bus? She said, of course. I said, really? I just couldn't comprehend that. And she said, yes. And I said, didn't that bother you? And she goes, no, that's just where we sat. I said, well, where would I sit, in the middle? And she just thought that was the funniest
That
thing.
is funny.
She said, no, you just sit with me. But I said, so what am I considered? I just say mixed, and I say mixed now, but in the past she said mulatto. And when I
I
said that
remember
to
that.
someone that now, a girlfriend of mine, a black girlfriend of mine, Wendy Cunningham Barnes, she said, Goldie, people don't say that anymore. That's considered derogatory. I said, is it really? I had no idea.
Yeah.
But that was a term my mother told me back in the
That's what
60s.
they
So,
called it.
yeah, mulatto. So, what do you call your mixed family that are half and half? Are they mixed? You say
I
mixed, or
just
what do you say?
called them a perfect blend.
A perfect blend. I
They're
feel
just
like
a
that's a
perfect
coffee,
blend.
and it
Yeah,
probably is like shades of coffee too. A
they
perfect
are.
blend.
They are. And I have nephews with coppery red hair and blue eyes. I have
Yes.
nieces with that are dark, and they have a sibling that is light. I
Yes.
mean, it's just
Blood sibling. A blood sibling.
blood siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from yeah, exactly. It's just very interesting. I love talking about it. And so I wonder though, do you ever it's like cuz like I joke with my husband all the time. I'm like, "So do you remember when your first gay thing came up? Like, oh my God, I'm great at flower arranging." Because I used to think like, am I really gay? I don't have any of those gifts they have. Like queer eye for the straight guy, or I
You
can't
don't
really
you don't
sew
have
a
fa
outfit.
you have fashion flair. I've seen you dress.
Well,
So
I
you do.
guess, yeah, but the thing is, it was like, sometimes we think that we're supposed to be a certain kind of way. And it's not. Just be who you naturally are, who you are. So let me ask you this question though, Goldie. Have you ever had anyone when you were dating, or anyone even in business, because you're so out front and open about everything, where you told them your background, your blending, your blendedness, I guess we could say, and they were like, and then you didn't hear from them ever again?
I did not, but my sister did.
She
She was
did.
also fair-skinned. I remember this, and it was an incident in high school. She was dating a guy, and because she's fair-skinned too. She's got long dark hair, wavy hair, and I got this short curly blonde hair. But we're both the same skin color, light.
Okay.
We both have blue eyes. Mine are
Okay.
more iced blue, and hers are more of a darker blue. And so at first glance, she has a little bit more blacker features than I do. She has a little bit fuller nose and fuller lips, but you really can't tell. And we grew up in like Romeoville, which is like 99% white. So people just assume we're white. We
Right.
look white. We look like. And so she was dating this one guy and had been going out with him for a little bit. And then he said, is your hair a perm or, natural? And she says, it's natural. He said, what is your heritage? And when she said, well, on my father's side, we're Welsh, Dutch, British, Czechoslovakian, German. It's a lot. And my mother's black. And he said, what did you say? And she, father's blah, 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 mother's blah. Dead silence. After that, uncomfortable silence. Didn't even want to, you could just tell that, right. She was totally
Deal
fine.
breaker.
Yeah, and then wouldn't talk to her in school and just never talked to her, and it crushed her. That was her first experience with, otherwise, we could tell you so many stories. They tried to burn down our house when we first moved into Westmont. I'll tell you that one in a second. But
Wow.
anyway, so I just love this. She has two really good friends who are football players. One is blonde, blue-eyed, white. The other guy, Terry, who's a black guy. And they were so mad that this guy treated my sister that way. So they came up to him and in the hallway and pushed him up against the lockers and said, "What's this we hear you won't date our sister?" Which I thought was just kind of a fun thing because they're not
Yeah.
married at all,
To
but they
get them
just
to
did
think
that
a
to
little bit.
give him a hard time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a great benefit that you have being able to move through this life from a point of neutralness, and seeing people. I think it's a true blessing, and you've used it that way because you do so many things. Let's talk about why is it you think you have so many things that you're juggling at one time?
I
What
knew
is
you
that
were gonna
about?
ask me that. I don't know. I knew you were gonna ask me that. And I started thinking what my answer would be. And on the back of my business cards, it's my all-time favorite quote, and I mean it and I live by it. I'll tell you what it is. Never pass up an opportunity to make a new friend or experience something new. Life is short. It is not promised. I just had another good friend pass away.
Mm,
She's 66. She was so full of life. And knock on wood, I'm healthy. My mother died at 54 of breast cancer. So I feel like I'm in the bonus round.
right.
And so, with that quote, never pass up an opportunity to make a new friend or experience something new. It like gives you permission to live life fully. When you meet people, to be curious and learn about them. Oh, what things can blossom from that way. And when opportunities, if they make sense to do so, don't be afraid. I remember Mildred, my friend Mildred's, anyway, not Mildred, Artie, said, "Let's go to Africa." We went to Africa together. We went and saw descendants of Kunta Kinte. She has friends and
Oh, the roots thing.
yeah, the roots thing. We went with Alex Haley's family, and I remember when she first said, "Let's do it." I thought, do I really want to go to Africa in July? But never pass up an opportunity to make a new friend or experience something new. So when opportunities arise, I analyze them as like, is this something I like to do? But I got to preface this by saying, I figured out early on that to be successful, you want to focus on two things.
Okay.
One, find people who are smarter than you in the area in which you want to excel.
I agree.
Why flounder around trying to figure things out yourself? You could just leapfrog that much faster by, finding people who are smarter than you, align with them, partner with them, be friends with them, provide value for them, connect with them. And it's just neat how many real estate, investing, all these things, because I've done that. And two, look for opportunities to get passive income because 95% of Americans trade time for money. You work
Yes.
once, you get paid once. If you want more pay, you work overtime, you take on a second job, and you're just chasing money, you're going to burn out.
No life.
Wealthiest people in America don't do that. They don't chase money. They set things up that makes money in their sleep. So when people hear I have like six, and the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, they don't have 7 jobs.
Right.
They have 7 streams of income. So even though all of this looks like a lot, if you break it down, I work hard to get them in motion, and then I can sit back and let the income come in. So it might seem like a lot, but like real estate, flipping buildings, I'm the financial backer of my business partner, smarter than me. He does all of the work, and I worked hard to buy my first house, paid it off, it doubled in price. I applied all that money to the home I'm in now. It increased in price. So we used the line of credit to pay for the flips. And then one of the flips was this building in Chicago. It's a 2 flat, but I had this God whisper, I think I want to keep this one. I'm like, what? I've never been a landlord before. I don't want to, get calls in the middle of the night or have,
Right.
people
Have
not
to go to
pay.
court and put
I
people
had,
out or yeah.
I had all those fears, but this God whisper, I'm telling you, this was a strong one. It was like, no, I kept feeling like I'm supposed to own this one. So I bought him out and, and this is what really helped. There's a good girl. Her name is Lauren Shu. For those of you who need somebody, she will put it on the multiple listings. She interviews the people. They have to have A1 perfect credit rating, and she calls their former landlord, calls her. She does it all, and then finds me the best of the best. And I, knock on wood, have had really good tenants because of her. And I give her the first month's rent as pay for doing that. Totally worth it. Never had a problem. And the money from the tenants and the checks from Melaleuca paid off the building in 4 years. So that's passive income. So when people hear I do these things, it's their mind is thinking linear and not entrepreneurial,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
It
So
does make sense.
yeah.
So if someone were to ask you, Goldie, what's your favorite thing that you do out of all the different things you juggle? Which one of those lanes would you say is your favorite,
Gosh,
or are they like children? You love them all the same.
I know we say that. I don't have kids, but I know we say that, but we always do secretly have our favorites for one reason or another.
Yes, I believe that too.
Love my movie nights because I really like the camaraderie and the energy and the community, and we look forward to it. It's just a high vibrational fun. Melaleuca, I've changed so many people's lives or their health and finances in ways that they can't with a regular 9 to 5 job, just from turning people on to where they shop. Very simple.
Nice.
But I really am enjoying speaking because people are manifesting already. They just never had anyone put it together in a clear, concise format that they can follow and make it happen over and over and over again. It is so cool to see the light bulbs light up when I show them, and we actually interact, and they put out what it is they want to manifest. And then when they come, they go, "You're not going to believe this." I go, "Yeah, I do." And it's so neat because this is information that people need to hear, and I'm enjoying getting that information out more.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I love. I I didn't really take a break. I pumped the brakes on speaking because I was out of the house and out of town, 7 months total out of the year. So I took a couple years of slow rolling the speaking thing, but I missed it so much. So
Yeah.
this next year, I'm already booked 17 times for 24. And I think I'm gonna cut it off at 20,
Well,
but I just love it.
we met with you emceeing, and that's speaking in a way. That's how I first
Mhm.
discovered you and your energy and your way of really exciting a crowd. In fact, we had a survey after with that business summit that Martha Razzo put on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know you then really. And I was raving. I said, you picked a perfect person for being the MC because you were witty, you had us laughing, you really pumped. And at some points, it was a revival. It was like, can I get, you were really getting the whole room like, dang,
Yeah,
it was really, really good. So
thank you.
that's a form of speaking, you doing the emceeing, and I've seen you MC twice. And
Yes.
then when we were privately talking, man, you kind of kicked me in the butt. You were like, Goldie, you have gifts and you are not using, you were like literally getting mad at me. You have gifts and you're not using them. You need to be doing more videos. So because of you, I started doing a little bit more video. I've got to do better. But
And
thank you
you
for that.
are. I
And
saw it and you sent me.
oh, you have seen some. So thank you for that gentle kick in the butt.
Well, yeah,
I appreciate it.
you're right. Because what I love about you is that you make yourself available, accessible, approachable to anyone. And that is a rarity.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, I try to, but sometimes, when people come in, they're stargazers and they don't
Mm,
believe that they are or could be trailblazers.
mm.
It's a tough row to hoe. It really is. And you don't have that much time to convince them not to be a stargazer. But with you, I believe that's why you're so successful. Because you bring what we see here on the screen, this girl, to everything you do. And that's why, and she just clicks with everyone she meets. It's almost like what they used to, Mary Tyler Moore or Anne Marie Baxter, that girl, that was what they were presenting. That was the persona of both of those characters. Mary Tyler Moore, the girl who could do it all, who wrote her own narrative, who did things her way. And so it's just so refreshing to meet one of them in real life. And that's what I believe you bring to the table. And that's why I was kind of pushing.
I never thought of that. I just love life and I'm a curious person. So when I meet people, I want to learn about them and see how I can help them or promote them or connect them to other people I know. That is my jam. So that's a different perspective.
Well, that's one of my gifts. God gives me,
Oh, yes.
brief glimpses inside of certain people's greatness. And that's
Yeah.
what he showed me about you. And it was crystal clear. It really was. And so I'm going to share it with everyone. Here is where you can go. There it is. And I'm going to scroll it along the bottom.
Awesome.
Goldie Matthew, 2 T's, no S, .com. Head over. You saw a little bit of the website at the top of the hour. And I'm going to take this link and put it inside your comment section at the conclusion of today's broadcast for easy access. I suggest you get over, check out all the different things that she's doing. If you want to learn about flipping, if you want to hire her or bring her in to speak to your organization or your group, your club, I'm sure she will be happy to talk to you about that, or any of the many other lanes of influence that she has. And she is of service to everybody in a lot of different ways. And we just love it. You live up to your name, Goldie. You truly are living your life like it's golden. So what's next for you? Anything? What are your big goals for 2024?
Well, I was just going to say, I am leaving in the morning for New Orleans. We just, how on Southwest Airlines, you have to, get it in with 24 hours. So we were just doing that. But and have you been to New Orleans? I was going to ask you, what are some
New Orleans?
New Orleans,
Right.
yeah, NOLA.
I was there once. It's interesting because I said up with people in here, and that was the only time I was ever there, and it was for Super Bowl. We did the Super Bowl halftime, and it was in New Orleans, but didn't get to see much.
My father used to live in New Orleans back when anyway, a long time ago. And I remember Bourbon Street and the French Quarters, but I didn't know if you had possibly been there.
No, I want to go.
Well, if anybody wants to post wherever this is posting, like restaurants or must-see places, I'm open to any suggestions.
Absolutely.
But I love you. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Yes, and you're welcome back. I call it the turnstile invitation, which means you're welcome back anytime. And I'm sure we will cross paths again. We have a lot of friends now in the same sacred circle.
Yes.
And we're friends, and that's what matters.
Yay.
That's what
I have lots more stories to share, so we might have to do this again.
I hope so. Listen, I wish you all the best, safe travels down in New Orleans. And they say, make sure you have a fanny pack or something, though. But it's not Mardi Gras, is it?
No, that's February.
That's in February. That's when they tell you don't put anything. You can just walk around with your pockets flipped out. So the pickpockets know, I don't have anything in there, so leave me alone. And just be safe. They say that's another thing down there. Know where you're going and don't wander off down little alleys and little less traveled areas by yourself. Always be.
I'm going to be with some other people. We travel a couple times a year. So this
is this business or pleasure?
It's totally pleasure. John and I, John's cousins, they're getting up in age, and twice a year we go different places. We were in Dominican Republic last, and so today or tomorrow it's going to be New Orleans.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I plan on making, I think it's some kind of a crumb cake or a blueberry thing. I got it at the art fair a couple of weeks ago, and when I make it, the two ingredients, when I make it, I'm sure I'm going to love it, and so I'll come and get all my products from you.
Yes. And you might get a little something in the mail.
Oh, looking forward to it. Listen, I want to thank you, and I want to thank all of you all. We couldn't have done it without you, nor would we want to. Listen, I promise, God willing, to meet you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central, again, out on the front porch, where together we agree to come in and do whatever it is we can to ease a little suffering in this world through illuminated conversation. Get out there today and find your highest self in this day. Call on your angels, call on the spirits, call on God, call on the universe. Just call, make that call, and I'm sure you'll get that answer. I'll see you tomorrow. Get out and be the best. And remember, as always, when I leave you, I tell you, I love, love, love you. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. So there it is. Goldie, have the best day ever. Thank you so much.
You,
Great job
Lauren.
today.
Sending
Love you back.
virtual
Love you back.
hugs.
Thank you. Great job.
Have an awesome day, sir.
You as
Talk to
well.
you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign.